AEW Dynasty is almost here, and you need to get ready.
Okay, well, here's everything you need to know heading into Dynasty.
It's coming your way on Sunday, the 12th of April, from the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
And in the United States, you can watch it on HBO Max, in demand through traditional cable satellite providers and Dave & Buster's.
But so you save it internationally. You can watch Dynasty on Amazon Prime. You can also see it on YouTube, ppv.com, DAZN, and on myaew.com, where you can also watch live Dynamites and Collisions, dig through the AEW library, plus Ring of Honor podcasts and exclusive content.
But an hour before that, catch me and Renee Paquette, oh my God, as we host 0 Hour featuring matches, analysis, and everything to get you in the mood.
And now here's what AEW Dynasty is. A relatively new AEW pay-per-view. This is only the 3rd edition. The first saw Swerve Strickland win the AEW World Championship.
Swerve is your new champion.
The second saw Jon Moxley continue his reign of terror.
This battle for the world title.
But the road that got us here is the one you need to be on.
AEW is currently going through an existential crisis. Good versus evil, virtue versus sin, redemption versus corruption. In our main event for the AEW World Championship, the pro wrestling god, Kenny Omega, faces the devil, MJF. Max started his second world title reign at World's End 2025 and has been ducking, dodging, and defeating everybody ever since. Bandito, Brody King, Kevin Knight, Hangman Adam Page, and Speedball Mike Bailey, but that's not all. Swerve, Darby Allin, and Andrade El Idolo have all been gunning for that gold too, but nobody more than Kenny Omega.
You can fill a textbook with Kenny's classic matches all over the world. He's not only one of the founding members of this company, but truly the lifeblood and the heart of AEW. After an 8-month absence due to a major surgery from a severe bout of diverticulitis, Kenny realized he might not have much time left in his career, and he wanted that world title one more time.
To do that, Kenny had to go through a brutal battle against Swerve, where he put his EVP status on the line to secure the #1 contender spot. But MJF immediately started antagonizing Kenny, refusing to shake his hand, getting personal about Kota Ibushi, and exposing the continued severity of Kenny's physical state, claiming that he's one wrong move away from a career-ending injury.
The last time these two went one-on-one was a 30-minute masterpiece that saw Max barely escape in victory. But Kenny promises this time won't be like the last. Vancouver is truly wrestling's battlefield earth, with heaven and hell colliding with it all on the line.
And MJF is keeping another opponent at bay with the help of the Don Callis family, leading us to Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo.
In addition to Mount Everest, Darby has been climbing his own personal peaks, like defeating all of the Death Riders, including Jon Moxley in an I Quit match at last year's Wrestle Dream. And an insane feud with Gabe Kidd that saw Darby send the UK Madman home in a coffin. Now Darby has set his sights on something that's eluded him his entire time in AEW, the World Championship.
I'm gonna hold that throttle until I see God or the AEW World Championship. Maxwell Jacob Friedman! I'm coming.
Ever one step ahead, MJF did some greasing on the already greasy Don Callis, making it so that Darby could only become #1 contender if he defeats a hand-picked member of the Don Callis family, Andrade. Andrade has been on quite a tear, including defeating Kenny Omega, and has world title aspirations of his own. So this plan could potentially backfire if Andrade pulls out the win.
With the AEW World Tag Team Championship comes a battle that has been brewing for years. Copeland Christian against the champions, FTR. When Cash Wheeler was getting started in this business, it was Copeland who gave him a place to stay in his first big break, a gesture that he now regrets.
Now, Copeland and Christian are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but Cash applied all of that knowledge with Dax to make FTR the very same. A first clash was inevitable, but with Big Stoke involved, everything went off the rails. At All Out 2025, Copeland and Christian pulled out the win, but FTR hit a brutal spike pile driver on Cope's wife, Beth.
Difficult to stomach what FTR has done on this path for revenge on Adam Copeland.
In Copeland's time away, FTR managed to grab the gold. But now Copeland and Christian have returned for revenge and those tag team titles in what is sure to be a barn-burning classic.
Another title has been becoming quite toxic as the toxic Spider Thekla defends her AEW Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter. Ever since defeating Chris Statlander for the strap, nobody has been able to figure out the toxic Spider. On the hunt for who attacked Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa naturally went after Thekla and recruited the Brawling Birds to fend off the Triangle of Madness.
Although they are an undefeated team, the Birds are no strangers to singles gold. Alex Windsor is a New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Champion, and Hayter has never quite gotten over losing the AEW Women's World title. Jamie defeated Thekla at last year's Wrestle Dream, one of Tekla's rare losses, so Hayter believes she already has a champion's number and is confident she can do it again.
And if you thought that was personal, let's talk about the AEW Continental Championship match between Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay. Jon's crimes against humanity have been well documented, including at Forbidden Door 2025 in front of Ospreay's home country, family, and child, where Mox broke Will's neck.
We may have just witnessed the end of Will Ospreay's career.
Mox certainly tried to move on from his vicious ways, winning the Continental Classic and Championship, along with the support of the fans. But there was one person that didn't forget. In a miraculous recovery, Ospreay made a shocking return at Revolution to confront Mox and make him pay.
Now, Moxley is confronted with the consequences of his past actions and is making no apologies, letting Ospreay know, quote, it wasn't personal, and that he's getting in over his head. But the Billy Goat may have his head on straight after all, not only recruiting some help from Japan, but making this a Continental Championship match, banning everyone from ringside so Ospreay can get Mox all to himself.
I'm gonna alter your life just like you've done mine.
All of that, plus
Ricochet goes one-on-one with the returning Jericho.
You know what happens when Chris Jericho needs an opponent and doesn't have one? You just made the list!
Don Callis has tasked Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada to take on the Young Bucks. And if Takeshita and Okada win, Takeshita will be able to challenge Okada for his international title.
And after Kyle Fletcher vacated the title due to injury, the winner of AEW's most unique match, the Casino Gauntlet, will be crowned the new TNT champion. So in conclusion, Sunday, Dynasty,
and the best pro wrestling on the planet. Get ready